for just a few minutes and enjoying just being outside for a few minutes. The video on the way to the doctor cut out, so I looked at it. It was like it was doing that whole redirecting thing, so I figured out I'd give you all a little bit of update when I got home, and it would stop doing the redirecting. So anyway, we got up this morning at 9:45. That's why the topic Wednesday was not happening. And we got up. We went to, hi Sandy, we went to the doctor. They did what they needed. She did. Wonderful doctor. She did what she needed to do just to check everything. They did take a little bit of a biopsy just to make sure that everything's a-okay, and she feels it is, but it's just double checking. And then next Wednesday, I will see what the results are, and they'll make a determination of what they want to do next. So I'm just still taking it easy. Man, was I hungry yesterday? Like I could not get enough in me yesterday. It was like every couple hours I was hungry. I needed to eat something. And I was just like hungry. And it was like today I don't feel like I was hungry like yesterday. I mean, it was like when I was pregnant with Christina, and I'm not pregnant, but when I was pregnant with her and I didn't know I was pregnant, the first little bit I was hungry like every 2 hours. I could not get myself full enough. And that's what I was yesterday. I was just hungry every little bit. And I figured out, I didn't ask her whether it was the medicine they put me on for the next, I think I have like 8 more days of the medicine, which is working, thankfully. But I was like, okay, I don't know if I need, whether that made me, or whether it was just I didn't really eat. I didn't really realize that I really wasn't eating much. I didn't feel like eating, and so I wasn't really eating much. And then my body lost. They were considering at the hospital, they weren't sure if I was going to need a blood transfusion or not. Thankfully, I did need one, but I had lost some. So I know that my body was repairing and building back, all that kind of stuff again. So it was taking energy to do. So, I mean, I was hungry. I just could not get enough yesterday. And today I don't feel like I have that kind of hunger like I did yesterday. So that's good. Because I'm like, okay. And I'm drinking water. I'm getting up and resting, but I'm also getting up and walking around a little bit. I'm got to kind of take it easy for today. It wasn't the most comfortable thing I could have had done this morning, but it was necessary. I thought I'm just going to sit outside. It's a beautiful day. The wind is just really nice, and I thought I'll just sit outside for a little bit and get you all caught up. Hi, Tuber Chat. How are you? So I'm glad I went. I really didn't have a choice, because on Sunday when I woke up, I was trying to get ready for church, and I literally was standing like I was standing by the computer, and I just turned, and Josh was thankfully standing there, and I just literally I just fell into his arms. I was just like, he's like, we're done. You're going either one way or the other. You're going to the hospital. Decide how you want to go. Either I'm calling the ambulance, or you're going and we're taking you. One of the things or two are happening. We're done. So I'm like, I really didn't want to go, but he was like, and then when I got to the hospital and I was downstairs and they were checking me all out, I was like, they said, let's go ahead, because I needed a wheelchair to get to the room, because it was the ER little room you're in. And so when I got up, I was like, there were several nurses that actually had to help me to the chair because I was really wobbly. So she was like, yeah, I'm in the right spot. So that was a little unnerving. And it was one of the reasons I stayed, because Josh was just really concerned that I was so lightheaded and everything, but I made the right call to go, and they gave me a bag of IV and let me have, just to keep me, keep my observation going and everything. So I have a blanket that I need to finish. I'm like 5 rows away. And it actually has a timetable to it. So I'm going to go finish that. I canceled StreamYard as of last night. So I'm going to work with Streamlabs. I was like, well, maybe they'll offer me like a better deal if I cancel for me to come back, and I don't see anything magically happening with that. So I just need to learn Streamlabs, which I will. And so I need to learn Streamlabs and sign up for that one. But I know I'm behind on the devotions. So I thought I had the energy to maybe get caught up yesterday, but I just really didn't. I was just really too tired still. And so, and there's Bible verses, there's thumbnails and Bible verses that we need to work on today. So maybe we'll get some of those done today. Maybe I'll try to do a couple devotions, but I just didn't have it in me yesterday. Thank you, little red big smile. I'll be okay. It's just, this was not a pleasant experience, to say the least. Very exhausting experience, I could say. And one that I can honestly say there wasn't a lot of information out there of what really to do. And I called a friend of mine who has some medical experience to say, I don't know what to do. Is this normal after grieving somebody? Is this, what am I supposed to do? And their encouragement to me actually Saturday night, about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, was, you need to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I'll wait, and so forth. And by Sunday, I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to what she's telling me. As I really wanted to go to church on Sunday, and I thought, I had said to Josh, if by Monday this doesn't resolve itself, then I'll have to go. And well, I guess when I turned and almost face planted to the floor, it was like, no, we're not waiting until tomorrow. You need to go now. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I didn't wait. But thank you very much. It's an experience I really don't want to go through again. But yeah, it is what it is. My daughter has, I think she's broken her toe, so she's been dealing with stuff too. She was really worried about me. She was like, Mom, I don't want anything to happen to you. I said, honey, it's not going to happen to me that I know of. But beautiful, beautiful day out. But I tend to, when it's springtime, I don't spend a lot of time outside, because that's when all the pollen says, hey, hello, how I am. Here I am, and my allergies don't always like that. So I don't often spend time outside in the springtime. So next Wednesday we will try. Hi, Carl. We will try to do the topic, the Wednesday mystery topic Wednesday. We'll try to do it next Wednesday. My appointment was at 9:45 this morning, so I couldn't justify doing that too, and I didn't really have the energy for it. I feel like I'm getting my strength back every day. I just am still kind of a little wobble. Like I'm like, it's like I've just run out of energy really quick. It's like I've got a little bit more than I did the day before, and things are improving, but I've still been told I've got to take things easy for the next couple days and not push it either. I can't lift anything heavy. That was told to me at the hospital. And I don't lift anything heavy. I can't. My back won't take it. But they said, don't lift anything heavy. You've got to take care of yourself and so forth. Well, thank you for stopping on in. I just figured out the other video, when I looked at it, was only about a minute and 12 seconds, so I figured nobody got an update whatsoever because it was only a minute and 12. So I thought, well, I'll sit outside for a little bit. Not very long, but I'll sit outside and enjoy the air. And usually I'll go down to our little gazebo down there, but I just don't have it. I don't feel comfortable walking all the way down there by myself right now. Because I just feel I can do more than I could do yesterday. I'm just still a little, like, weak. Like, it's like I can't. Like, if I went down to the gazebo right now, I'd be bringing my walker just so I'd had that steadiness. And we actually brought it with us in the car. I used my cane in the doctor's office, but I knew Josh had his walker. If I brought mine, we would run out of room. But Josh is like, why don't we bring your walker this way? If you're really kind of unsteady after it, you can have something steady to walk with. And so we did. So that's what we did. I either today or tomorrow, I've seen them. Christina says that they're popping up places, and like she saw one at a convenience store recently. She said, Mom, look what they have. Hi, Daisy and May. They had those pickleballs. And I have a video of Christina trying them. She says they're good. Josh says they're good. So I figured out we'll go ahead, and if my stomach was not up to it yesterday, but maybe either today or tomorrow I will taste test them. Y'all know what they are. I got them off of Amazon. And then we also ordered something last week, and it's like chocolate milk, but it's coffee milk. I guess it's in Pennsylvania or Virginia or something like that. And you put it in your milk and it makes like a coffee milk. And so I want to try that. So I'll taste test that and let y'all know. And then I'll put the Amazon link in there too as well. All of our Amazon affiliate links are in our link tree, but we have a little shop underneath there. But I'll try Christina says the pickleballs are really, really good. Josh says they're good. They're like cheese balls, but they're like the dill pickleballs. I'll let you know how they are. And then this other coffee drink stuff I wanted to try. I've heard really good things about it. I mean, how can you go wrong? Coffee flavoring in your milk instead of chocolate flavoring. But I've kind of wanted to, that I may do Friday. And then I did do the recipe for the taco salad. And I figure I'll get that ready to go for Tuesday and make Taco Tuesday salad for that video or short. It may not even be a video. It'll probably end up being a short. And I'll do that for Tuesday next week. And then what is it? And then next week too, I think next week sometime, kind of getting ready for Mother's Day, because it was supposed to come out Easter. But you know where I was Easter. But I have that project for with the coffee filters. So I thought I'll do that and put that together. So that'll come out sometime next week for kind of Easter and Mother's Day kind of thing together. So we'll do that next week. We'll do that, and so you guys can have that project put together, so forth. It's a really neat project. I mean, I could see that being used for a lot of different things, really, honestly, not just doing the flowers. I could see it, like, even taking those and using, I want to try watercolors next and see, but even just taking those coffee filters and putting it on, like, a canvas. I remember, and just being able to kind of, take like sections of the coffee filters, taking sections of the coffee filters and being able to kind of use them as decoupage. I don't know if I said that right, but using Mod Podge, putting them on a canvas, that would look really, really cool. Or even putting them on wood or something like that. I could see it being done too like that. And so I was going to try that, but you could even do something. I may add it. I actually may add to that video, because then I can make it an Easter Mother's Day kind of thing. I think I'm going to, because I think what I could do is get a canvas and go ahead and cover it with the coffee filters and then put the word mom on it. So I've got canvases here. I wouldn't even have to go out and get anything. And then just be able to put the word mom, you know, and then it could make like a little mom's gift and kind of do the Easter and that. So I think that's a good idea. See, sometimes you just need to talk things out. I know this girl does. So I will go ahead and do that too. I'll pick some colors and we'll get some, got a canvas, and I'll film that and just go ahead and kind of decoupage the coffee filters after they're painted on the canvas, and then we can put the word mom, and then that'll cover Easter and the mom all together. Because I was thinking, how do I really do this? Because I kind of did that as an Easter one, but I couldn't put it together because I was someplace I didn't want to be. So I can maybe do like pinks and purples and, you know, kind of Mother's Day kind of thing, and so forth. So we'll figure something out. Maybe I can even throw some crochet in it. I got me thinking now. I've got myself thinking. Yeah, but that thing, I don't really want to get stung by any bee right now, or wasp or anything. That would put me back in the hospital. No, thank you very much. Here, Mocha barking. So I'll have to figure out how to make a flower. Well, I guess I could use it. I guess I can make a mini one, like I did with the others, but I can make like a mini one. I'll figure something out, but we'll do something. Hi, Lucy. Well, thank you, Daisy May, for stopping on in. I'll figure something out, but we'll do something, because that would be a really, really easy project. But then I can do it both ways. I could do it with the Easter part and then adding the Mother's Day part. So you have two variations of how you could work with them, because I think you could do a lot with them. And it was really, really cool to see when you put the coffee filters in the paint. It was really cool to see the paint coming up the coffee filters. So I could imagine for little kids it would be a really neat project to do. And you could go, I mean, you could cut out mom and put it on there. You could also take yarn, which should be another fun idea too, is to be able to do the back and then find a yarn and take mom and do mom with yarn. I've done that with yarn, and it's really, really a cool thing to do too. You outline the word mom in yarn. That's what we'll do with that, and then maybe if I can find a flower or something, we'll be able to do something like that. But we'll figure it out. But I will add something to kind of make it a Mother's Day video as well as a Easter video, delayed. So we'll see what they say next to do, and we'll go from there. But my family wants me to take it easy. Doctor wants me to take it easy. I have to take it easy. I knew I was going to be hurting a little bit today after everything, and I am. But a little crampy today, but that's all expected. I knew it was coming today, but I'm glad it's over with, because last night I was like, I was nervous. I was nervous. But I got through it. I was a good girl. I had Josh's hand. He said I squeezed it to death. I'm like, yeah, because it wasn't fun. But I had a really good doctor, and I was glad for that. So, but I thought it literally showed like a minute and a half, like a minute and 12 seconds. And I'm like, nobody's going to get a gist from that. I don't even know what it says. I'll probably end up deleting that because it wasn't really worth anything of any kind of substance to listen to. So the next, I think, probably looking to the end of this month, I'm supposed to do an interview with Katie Greenland Quilter, I think it is. I'm supposed to do an interview with her. It's going to be pre-recorded. So I have to send her some pictures of the blankets that I do. And I'm looking to start, hi Share Bear, I'm looking to start to try to find other channels that, and if anybody has any channels that they would suggest where we can go on and maybe like I did with the source and kind of tell our story a little bit and talk with people and expose ourselves even further, would be a good thing. So if anybody has if they'd like for me to come on, I don't care what the size of a channel is. I'm more than happy to come on. It was hard for me when I had to think about, and I don't know if it's Streamlabs. I don't know if Streamlabs has the ability to co-stream anymore. So that was to me, the downside of losing StreamYard, is that it had everybody have the real ease to be able to co-stream very easily. That's the only thing. Everything else is pretty much going to stay the same. I have to sign up for Streamlabs and go from that. And then I figured out I may end up actually doing a little bit of tutorial because I kind of understand it a little bit. A little more than I'm thankful I do kind of understand it. But again, I'll be glad, like I did with the source and Big Jack. I'm glad to come on and show people what we're doing over here. It's all about the connection. And I can really say that it was really comforting Saturday night when I really didn't know what to do. I didn't. I was sitting there going, I don't know what to do. I'm like, should I go? This is just all normal. I'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. And I had somebody that I could reach out to that I found through YouTube. It has become like a sister to me. It's in the medical field a little bit that I could reach out to and say, what do I do? And, it was that person's encouragement that I said to myself, okay, I may not be able to wait till Monday. And I'm really glad I didn't. But it's all about the connection, where I felt comfortable enough to call this person and talk with them. And they were there and they were going through, let's go through all your symptoms and all that kind of stuff. And because I wasn't finding very much, hi Crafty, I wasn't finding very much information on the web to be able to tell me. Some things were telling me what I was going through was normal and I should be fine and so forth, and and I just didn't know what to do. I honestly didn't. And it was because I could call somebody within my circle of people to say, what do I do? And I didn't feel alone. Hi Rudy. And I called that person and I was like, thank you for just being there for me. And they're like, it's fine. That's what we're here for. And ordered me on rest. And if I don't rest, they're going to be after me, I promise you. But they were like, and she even said to me, she said, if you hadn't gone to the hospital, I'd have reached out to Josh and said, you need to take her. You've got to go take her. Stop her being so stubborn. And she needs to go. And it's because of that I went. And I think we forget the importance of, there was a thing, I think it was, who was it? Some kind of like reel I watched one time. And it was talking about a lady that was at a bridal shower and they had this poem. And she was thinking about, she was going to say a poem or something about it. She said, just don't forget about having your girlfriends. You've got your husband, you've got all this and everything, but don't forget your girlfriends. Because they're there, especially if you're a woman, They're there when you don't know what to do, when you're kind of sitting there just needing to talk about life and going through stuff. They get it because they're going through it. Don't forget about your girlfriends. They're so, so important to have. Those best friends and those girlfriends and so forth, they're there. And I really didn't know what to do. It was like I did not know what to do. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was even considering Saturday going to the hospital. And I'm so glad I had somebody to call and say, what do I do? This is what's going on. And I felt comfortable enough to tell them what was going on. I feel comfortable enough telling her about anything. And she was there to just say, no, you need to go. And I don't think we realize the power of what connection can do and the power of having friendships and building those friendships. And I really do believe that God brings people in your life specific times and specific reasons. And it was so comforting to feel like I had somebody to go talk to, and I had my mom to talk to, and so forth. But she doesn't have the medical experience that this other person had, and so I felt like I was having more of the confirmation that I was having. Kind of your gut instinct was to go to the hospital. The information I was getting from my friend was like, no, you need to go. And they said either you go tonight or you go first thing in the morning, but you need to go. And guys, we can't forget about our friends and our girlfriends, and guys needs friends too. They need friends to hang out with and talk with and so forth. They need that. And I was really glad that I had it, because I was really at a loss. I was really sitting there going, maybe I'm just, making more of this than needs to be, but it was, yeah, we all need support, yes. But it was starting to get very worrisome to me by Saturday night and Sunday. I mean, I was just like, I was starting to flip out, and I was trying not to flip out. And that other person was so calming to talk with and say, okay, this is what's going on. What do I, high blood files, what do I need to do? Am I overreacting? What needs to happen? And even when I was kind of, because the doctor came into the room and he goes, well, we have two options. You can either stay the night or we can send you home. And both my mom and Josh said, no, you really need to stay. And even the friend that I was talking with on Saturday night, they go, no, you need to stay. Because if you are this unsteady on your feet, we need to make sure that there's people here to check on you and make sure you're okay. And then another thing too is vouch for what you need as far as your medical. If you need something, don't feel ashamed to ask for it. Because I told them, I said, listen, if you're going to start me on a new medicine that I've never had, I have a wonderful way of getting into a panic attack over medicine that I have never taken before. Just mentally, I knew I am, because I have my asthma. So I just can go into a total panic attack over medicine, and it's all mental. Sometimes it's not, but a lot of times it can be. And so I said, I've got to have my husband. So I said, can they do a private room so he can be with me? And if he's with me, I'm going to stay calm. And I think our insurance covers a private room, or is required that we have a private room. But, it was one thing that, they even said, they said, they even made happen, and they said, patient can have husband with because of anxiety. So if you have that and you need somebody there with you, speak up. They put those things on my legs to get the blood flowing, those things that go, swell up and go back down. And I know why they were doing it. They were doing it because they didn't want blood clots and all that. But I could stand them for about an hour or two, and then I was like, I can't take them. The nurse came in and said, you can refuse these if you want. And I said, well, please take them off. She said, you can walk around. I said, I will get up every hour on the hour and walk the hallway with somebody beside me. I said, over having these things on my legs. Because as a fibromyalgia patient, when those compression things were squeezing like this, and then it would stop, and usually you get a little break. They both happen at the same time, and then they would stop, and then the last ones I had, about every 20 minutes, they'd start back up again. But these were like, it was hitting this leg, and it was going all the way up the leg. Then it would stop on that leg. Then it would move on to the other leg, start up that leg. Then it would, and I said to them, I can't tolerate this. This is too painful on my, on my leg. I can't take the pain, because when that would clamp down on my legs, it was tight. And so I was already in so much pain. Hi, Hats, how are you? I was already in so much pain that my whole body was, that pressure on my legs was just driving me up a wall. So I said to them, I said, I don't know how much more I can take of this. I said, what else can I do? Because you got to take these off. I can't take them. And so they said, you know what? You have a right to refuse these if you can't tolerate them. And they just put them on, and they said, patient can't tolerate leg things, compression leg things on the leg due to fibromyalgia. So speak up. Everybody was great. There was one gentleman, they were trying to get in my hand. They were trying to get what was it? They were trying to get the blood type in case they had to give me some extra blood. I was on a little bit of low blood level, and they were doing that, and they didn't want to do another IV because I have veins that the second they see a needle or somebody coming to draw blood, those veins go hiding in places that they'll never find them. And to everybody that came in, I said, you better be a good stick. And if they weren't a good stick, they all said, let me go get one. I pre-warned them. Here's another thing too. If you have difficulty with people doing that, you say the minute they come in the room, you better be a good stick. Don't bother getting the machine. It doesn't work. You better be a good stick. If you're not, go find somebody that's really good at this. And and most of the people that I've come across in my history, hi Lucy, most of them will sit there without even a cause and say, let me go find somebody. They know if they're a really, really good stick enough to be able to fool around. And so they were trying not to do another stick. So I had my IV, and they were trying to get, blood out of a turnip, in my hand. And the gentleman says to me, he says, well, ma'am, he said, I'm not really doing anything. I'm not really doing anything to you. And I'm like, I understand that, but it hurts. And I say, I know you're not, but understand, a fibromyalgia patient, you are moving around something in nerves and hands, and it hurts a little bit more than someone that doesn't. And he was really nice, but I don't think he understood fibromyalgia, or begin to. A lot of them did. A lot of them understood that I was dealing with that, but he just really didn't get the concept that movement of the IV was painful. And so when I went upstairs to go up there, the nurse was like, let me go ahead and just, put some saline in there and make sure it's a clean line. And she started, and I started screaming. She goes, yep, it's no good anymore. So they had to redo it again. And there was another nurse that came up the next day trying to get some more. She tried twice, and she's like, okay. She tried twice, and she's like, I'm done. She said, you are hard to get. And I said, I told you. I said, I told you I was hard. She said, it's right there. I can see the vein. I can feel the vein. I know it's there. And I said, I know, I told you. I told you the minute you're going to come around, you're going to feel them. They're going to be there. And so she went and got someone else. I mean, they did the heat on my, they did everything. So the biggest thing I can say is be an advocate for yourself. If you know yourself better than anybody else knows yourself, don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to say to them, if you have to have a companion in the room with you because you deal with anxiety, don't be afraid to say it. If you're dealing with, difficulty when it comes to, having IVs put in and blood work drawn and all that kind of stuff, make sure you tell them, listen, you better be a good stick when you come in. And even the lady said, I'm usually really, really good. I'm really, really good when I do it. But she said, you're not easy. And I said, I told you that. So know yourself enough. If you're a fibromyalgia patient and you've got those things on your leg and you can't tolerate them because it's just too painful, you've got to speak up and you've got to say, what else can I do, versus having them on my legs because they're just too painful. And there's going to be people that are fibromyalgia people, or people that are at the hospital that don't understand fibromyalgia. They don't get it. It doesn't make sense to them. There's some people that I do believe still think it's in the head. It's just in the head. I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't really exist. And I think it's kind of like, still a very, very unknown and understood issue. I really do. And so you've got to speak up for yourself. And you've got to be able to tell them what it is and be able to speak up and so forth. So the good thing in the whole thing too is that we are not going to move. We're going to stay where we are for another 15 months. That was another thing on my worries list. We're going to stay where we are for another 15 months, and we'll see where we're supposed to be after 15 months. And then after I get done with some of these blankets, there's blankets I really would like to get done with. I'm going to start working on some patterns of our own for myself to do and so forth. And I will go ahead and do some of them on my own and do the patterns and so forth. And then I will offer them to you, put them up on the website for anybody who wants them on the fourth wall. And that with the samples will be like, we'll probably make them about 125. And of course, I'll just say to Mom, reimburse me for the yarn. You take whatever else it is, you take it. I want to do an Elvis one. I want to do a disco ball one. And I know who wants the disco ball one. I want to do disco ball, Elvis, and I'm doing one for the monkeys, for that new place I found, Our Life's Adventures. I want to do one for them. Hi, Rudy. And I've got my first one. I'm doing a blanket for our church, a person in our church, and so I've got to do one for them. And I'm going to be kind of doing my own pattern for that. But I have to figure out how to do it first. It's done on Excel, but I have to figure out how to do it. But I'm very interested. And there was, I'll let you all know, it was, I'll have to put it on the community post. And she was making her own, like, I want to try it, her own shampoo, shampoo bar. She was making it, and I think probably the products probably cost her like $25. But if it lasts for a long period of time, that would be great. But it was done in a round. And of course, our soap caddies are done in like length ones, like squares. I mean, you don't have to do it in a round, but you could do it in a length one. But what I would like to see is if I can find a round soap caddy and do it. Otherwise, I'll just get molds to be able to do it like long, like a square, because I think you could take those and probably put them in our soap caddies, and then when you're using the shampoo, you just take it and use the soap caddy and get it all over, and then just hang it up, and I'll let you all know. But she had I wouldn't put any scent in it, because we're very highly sensitive to scent. I wouldn't put any scent in it, but I'd be very interested. I'm going to be very interested to try it. I think the soap paste costs about $15, $20. I found it on Amazon. And then she used grapeseed oil, but I probably use olive oil. She used olive oil. I probably use olive oil and avocado oil. And then what else did she put? And shea butter. So, and then I could make, because and see how long it's going to last to use like the soap bars, the shampoo bars, instead of buying soap. Because I'd love to be able to find out. It saves money, and if you get them and it costs $25 for all the products, but it lasts for, I don't know how long. If it lasts for, 2 or 3 months to do all that, then it's cheaper. You're talking maybe like $8 a month for shampoo versus, and a lot of times in the stores, all the shampoos just have such a smell. You think you're gonna have a shampoo and it's gonna smell, but what happens is it winds up on my hair at least. And if the shampoo smell stays, then it gives me a headache. So I have to have stuff that really, if it has much of a scent in the shower, it can't last very long outside. But I want to try her recipe for the shampoo bars and see how I like it. And I think it would work perfectly in the soap caddy to me, because then if you have it in the soap caddy, you could just get it lathered up and take the soap caddy and rub it all over the place and you're done. She just had it in the round because she uses it, but I think it'd be easier in the soap caddy that we have, because then once you got it all over, you would just hang it back up and then do like we do with the bar soap, but then you just pull it off, get it wet, do it exactly the same thing, and when that's done, you throw it in the washer and start all over again. So I'm going to order the supplies to make it, and I will let you all know how it works. I was going to look and see if I could find in the round, in the pattern, but I think, like a round soap caddy instead of the one we have, but I'd probably I never thought of it, just because she puts her soap or shampoo in molds that are round. I can always take it and put it in ones that are square. So I would take it and just put it in one of the soap caddies. And then when Josh was using, wash his hair, that would be the shampoo soap caddy we would use. And then get it lathered up and just put it up and then just hang it up, and then you don't have the loose. But I want to try that. So just so everybody knows, Taco Tuesday salad will come up. Get that ready for next Tuesday. That'll probably be either a 3-minute short or a video. It probably won't even need a video. It'll probably be a 3-minute short. I will add to this weekend, what I was going to do for Easter and make it a Mother's Day 2 thing. Hi, Sophia. How are you? I will do a Mother's Day thing with a coffee filter. So it'll be an Easter/Mother's Day video craft kind of thing. We'll probably try to do something maybe on Friday. We'll do it won't be, I don't think that they're going to come back with anything spectacular, but until I'll probably sign up with Streamlabs on Monday. So we'll probably do some kind of live. Who knows? It may be like this on Friday, but we'll do something. They did do a biopsy today. So I'm a little sore and all the kind of stuff, and so I'm resting. I'm having to. I just run out of energy very quickly, and I was hungry. Like I was telling everybody, I was so hungry yesterday. Like I literally could not fill myself up enough. I was just so hungry. So I don't have that same like hunger I had yesterday. But it's probably because I really hadn't eaten well for like 10 days. And my body was replenishing back the stuff it lost from, all the stuff it had been through. So we'll see. Next week, we'll get the results. She doesn't think anything's going to come back, anything. She said, I think everything's fine. But we have to do this because then once we do this, then we'll see what the next steps are. And we'll go from there. So, yeah, I'll ask. But she said, we'll see what the next steps are. And I've got like 4% on my battery. So maybe on Friday we'll try something. And then Monday I'll go ahead and sign up for Streamlabs and see if I can add something where I can put chats on the screen and all that kind of stuff. But we may just be doing it from the phone for the next couple of days. I'd love to keep StreamYard, but I just wasn't willing to pay. Neither was Mama, $423. I thought it was ridiculous. And I thought, not worth it. So we'll do Streamlabs for the next year and go from there. And do what we need to do, that's for sure. And I will be doing, probably next week, once I get Streamlabs, I'm going to be doing, for those people that are like us, that are debating on streaming services, I did take a recording of the two that I tried, the back offices of it, so people can run through it and let them see what it's like. That's what I did yesterday. Every like 2 or 3 hours, I was like starving. And I would just have it. We have like the little rice pudding cups in the refrigerator. I had Mom get that yesterday. Some coffee yogurt. Like last night before I went to bed, I had a little snack. I think yesterday we had some leftover broccoli from Easter. The baby broccoli is so good. So I had the leftover baby broccoli, and I had some cheese. We've had some egg pie, and so I've just been like grazing, but I've just had, I felt like I needed more yesterday because, and I was like, I don't know whether the pill she gave me, which is a hormone, makes me want to eat more. I don't know, but I'm also thinking my body also is replenishing what it had lost. Yeah, we don't have any nuts. But, like today, Josh and I stopped off and got Chick-fil-A. There's a Chick-fil-A truck. And we had, I got a grilled chicken wrap, and I was only able to eat half of it. So there's yogurt. There's like little rice pudding cups. Last night I had some mashed potatoes with I made some, I think it was Saturday, I made ground beef, ground turkey, cabbage, like coleslaw mix, and I put spinach in it and so forth, and put some mushrooms on there. I ate that last night, which was very filling, and I was just hungry. I just couldn't get over it. I was like, ridiculous, I'm hungry again. I couldn't. My stomach was like, okay, you got to be replenishing your body. It's exactly what I thought I was doing. And I'm drinking the water. The water going, and I'm taking care of myself. No, I haven't. I should try that. And I've got vanilla yogurt in there. I've got cream of wheat. So I've got plenty of stuff, that's good. Good for you. And we made, and what I did too, that egg pie recipe, and I'm going to have to get off here in a minute because my phone's about ready to die. The egg pie recipe we have on our channel, you know what I started adding to it? I really like it, is about 3 tablespoons or 3 heaping tablespoons of cottage cheese. I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to tell it's in there. And I've added that because that's even more protein into our egg pie. So, and there was leftover, that noodle pudding recipe I put up, we had that left over, so I've been snacking on that. So, I've just been eating, but I've just felt like I've needed to eat a little bit more, and it's been more like every 2 or 3 hours, it's like I gotta graze again. I don't feel that sensation today. So maybe I've I've curved a little bit, but my phone is going to die. I'm gonna go in. I'm going to go get some comfy clothes and go rest a little bit and finish that blanket I'm working on. And if I can, I will get some devotions up today. If I can't, I'm not going to press it. I will start tomorrow. So thank you all for your prayers. Keep praying. I love each and every one of you. Remember to take care of yourself. I am resting, I promise, or other people are going to get after me if I don't. I promise you. Be proud of being yourself. Everyone else is taken. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered, and keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook required. And thank you, Sandy, for reminding me that I do have to take off the 4-leaf clover. But maybe that's not too bad right now. Good luck, right? Anyway, I love you all. See y'all later. Maybe in a couple days we'll do a live stream and just catch up and let y'all know what's happening. So thank you all so much for your prayers. And I'm resting. I promise. I'm trying to be a good patient. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you for caring and making sure I'm okay. I really appreciate it. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye, everybody.